I forgot something. Here, just grab one of those. Alright, you did.
Whoa. Whoa. It's the illusion. Reporting from somewhere on spaceship Earth. It's Wednesday. Or it's Thursday. It's Sober Wednesday on Thursday. That's right. We're doing Sober Wednesday on Thursday. And because, you know, that's what we got to do, dude. Good to be here. Dan Z, Mike T. Yeah, Demon Dog. Core. Easy way to think it's going to work. And Alan Carr, easy way. I think it's, yeah, read the book. You'll find out. Rocket Mom, 88. Rocket Mom, that's funny. I thought about you the other day. So what Rocket Mom's up to? And with that said, it's let's just open it up with the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the willingness to know the difference. Oh, that willingness to know the difference, man. So hard to tell sometimes. It is so hard to tell the difference sometimes, dude. Oh boy, oh boy. All right, man. So it's Thursday, dude. So if you're out of sync and you're just new here, this is the hour dedicated to those who suffer, man. People suffer in all different shapes and forms nowadays, man. You know, I come from the school of alcoholism and drug addiction, but you know, we've realized over the last couple of years that that people just need to realize that there's a power greater than themselves that will guide them to a life worth living, man. And the hardest part is just admitting that you want to change. So, are you scramming? He's scramming, dude. And you know, whether your addiction's food, suicidal thoughts, whether your addiction's bad relationships, drugs, alcohol, gambling, debt, drama, anger, whatever it is, man, we have a solution. And if you have mental health issues, well, you're at the right place too, because all of us who suffer from addiction have a little bit of mental health issue. Well, as you know, as Bukowski said, anyone who claims to be sane in an insane world is insane or crazy, right? So rejoice in your lack of sanity, dude. Inside of that, there is a solution, man. There is a solution. And the solution is really just admitting that you have a problem, dude. So, and like I said, the problems just change. Sobriety gives you the ability to deal with the ever moving target of problems, dude. So with that said, I just ask that you be kind in the chat and that you be of service in the chat, and you let people who may be looking for a solution to have a place to find it, dude. And all right, there you go, Rocket Mom. Good for you. LIVIN. That's it. That is it. So this is not affiliated with AA in any way, shape, or form, but we do read Chapter 5, How It Works, from the Big Books of Alcoholics Anonymous, because that little 2-page ditty is a blueprint for getting out of the suffering reality that many of us find ourselves in, and we treat that suffering reality with our addictive substance or actions or whatever it is. So, what is it really, dude? It's the pain of not being connected to God. And when you get to the point where you realize that that's all there is to this life is connectivity with God and being of service to God to help your fellow human beings find God. Like that's it at the end of the day. How we get there is a brutal trial and tribulations of self-induced suffering. And then we finally realize that our suffering no longer works. And we pop our head up and we're like, what do we do now? And that's what this is. This is what do we do now? This is what do we do now if we've come to the surface and we don't want to live that incomprehensibly demoralizing life that many of us find ourselves living. All right. Here we go, man. Chapter 5, how it works, dude. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to this simple program. Usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. There are such unfortunates. They are not at fault. They seem to have been born that way. They're naturally incapable of grasping and developing a manner of living which demands rigorous honesty. Their chances are less than average. There are those too who suffer from grave emotional and mental disorders, but many of them do recover if they have the capacity to be honest. Our stories disclose in a general way what we used to be like, what happened, and what we are like now. If you have decided you want what we have and are willing to go to any length to get it, then you're ready to take certain steps. At some of these we balked. We thought we could find an easier, softer way, but we could not. With all the earnestness at our command, we beg of you to be fearless and thorough from the very start. Some of us have tried to hold on to our old ideas, and the result was nil until we let go absolutely. Remember that we deal with alcohol, cunning, baffling, powerful. Without help, it is too much for us. But there is one who has all power. That one is God. May you find him now. Half measures availed us nothing. We stood at the turning point. We asked his protection and care with complete abandon. Here are the steps we took, which are suggested as a program of recovery. 1, we admitted we were powerless over alcohol. 2, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood him. 4, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5, admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6, we're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. 7, humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. 8, made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. 9, made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10, continued to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood him, praying only for the knowledge of his will for us and the power to carry that out. 12, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and practice these principles in all our affairs. Many of us exclaimed, what in order? I cannot go through with it. Do not be discouraged. No one among us has been able to maintain anything like perfect adherence to these principles. We are not saints. The point is that we're willing to grow along spiritual lines. The principles we've set down are guides of progress. We claim spiritual progress rather than spiritual perfection. Our description of the alcoholic, the chapter of the agnostic, and our personal adventures before and after make clear 3 pertinent ideas. A, that we're alcoholic and could not manage our own lives. B, that probably no human power could have relieved our alcoholism. And C, that God could and would if he were sought. Could and would if he were sought. Yeah, it's all a bit much sometimes, man. It's all a bit much sometimes. It really is. And the hard part about it is it's really not at the same time. It seems to be very difficult sometimes to realize that. Like it just gets overwhelming. And I will tell you, dude, that life overwhelming pre-sobriety was unmanageable, dude. Completely unmanageable. No solution. Just battle, warfare with life. And now in sobriety, yes, it overwhelms, but there's a weird way that it all works itself out because I no longer, as much as I fight it, I was going to say I no longer fight it, but that's not true. I fight it all the way, dude. But the point is that I'm willing to stay conscious through the battle and allow the solution to appear and allow the solution to be grace to me through loving God of my understanding, right? So, I've talked about this too. I sometimes think life was easier, like early sobriety, man. Like I just had to get sober, dude. I just had to not drink, dude. That was it. In the beginning, I just had to not drink. All right. I can't do that. I'm gonna do that. I just get through the day, right? And everything that went along with it was very action oriented, right? Like you just had to pick up the phone, go to the meetings, hang out with the bros, do this, do that. Like it was very like in your face, dude. I'm just not going to put drugs and alcohol in my body. And then here I am, what, 13 plus 14 years, I don't even know, 13 years later, something like that. And like I don't like I have no solution except to go through it, dude. Like go through the thing of life. And in that motion, like the only way I can go through it is with God. If I don't go with God, I am doomed. And yet the thing that I know is and this is I think where you grow to trust it over time. You have to learn this thing over time of how God is working in your life. So it's the thing where like you begin to trust the fact that God is there, whether you understand if God's there or not. God is there, and all you have to do is the next indicated action, and you will arrive at the point of you will arrive at the place where the pressure is released, right? So last so again, I can only speak from my own life experience, right? So last Sunday I got just side angled with I got my teenage stepdaughter is she just became an adult, right? So and she was one of those that was slow to like get driving, right? So she's driving and she just got her own little place and she's living on she's renting a room in another house and she's doing her thing, right? And so the deal was that like, in order to move where she was, because she was living with some adult friends of hers while she went to school, dude, figuring it all out, right? And she's a good kid. So like the deal was from like a long like all right, so this is the thing from a deal from a long time ago is I was like, we're not having anything to do with the cars. Like that's dad's issue. Like dad, whatever. Dad's gonna handle that. He's a car dude, right? That's what he's into is cars. All right. So this it's funny because I had my big resentment blowout like yesterday about it. Like so, and I'll get into this thing. So 4 years ago, when she was like 14, I was, that the car is coming, dude. Like the driving's coming. And I was super clear. I go, we're not getting involved with the car. That's her and her dad's deal. Like we're not doing it. We handle everything else. That's their gig. And it needs to be handled out there. And so here we are 4 years later, right? So her dad got her this like retarded car, dude, and it's got a lien on it and it can't get registered and it won't pass smog and like this dude's a car guy, right? And So Sunday Sunday was rad. I forget what was going on. Sunday was rad. It was all going on. She came back from this like high school trip where they went to Washington, DC and the whole thing and did the whole like toured around for like a week out in Washington, right? Real like she got scholarship to do it. Like she's killing it in school, right? So she comes back and she's like, dude, the car thing is out of control, dude. And I'm like, all right. So I pulled in, like, and you have to understand, like, my boundaries for 4+ years were like, I ain't touching this car thing, right? God grant me the serenity to know the difference, right? So I knew that I had, like, I got to do serenity prayer because it's all God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, the wisdom to know the difference. So I got this phone call. I had the wisdom to know the difference. This was something I had to like take on, right? It's my kid, dude. So started this whole thing and like the car is just a nightmare, right? So I'm like, my first reaction is like, just abandon it somewhere, dude. Like it's not in your name, just abandon it somewhere. Forget about it. Get it as far away from me. And then I'm like, nah, you got to call your dad. He bought the car. Like you got to have the thing. Like he's got to, but dad just like shines on the whole thing, right? So move the ball forward. It's now, she needs a car. She's going to get a job, the whole thing. And so like, I'm doing the thing, right? But I'm getting resentful about it. Not at her, just like the big picture. I'm just like, you know what, man? And all of a sudden it's going to cost a bunch of money. And I get online and I'm looking for cars and I'm like, I resent car purchasing, dude. You have to understand. I'm like, it's just in my wheelhouse of stuff I don't do, I don't like to do, and I don't want to do. And I was very clear about it, right? So I get to this point where I'm like, I'm in it, I'm searching for the car, and I'm like, and then God intervenes, right? So my buddy on the East Coast, he's like a used car guru, dude. They call him into dealerships to sell cars. Like he's like a sensei with selling cars to people, right? And so years ago, he gave me the lecture about used cars. He's like, dude, just get a car with the warranty and this and that. So I'm sitting there and, we own all our cars finally and whatever. And I'm sitting there and it finally dawns on me like what I got to do. I go, I can either like dump like $3,000 into a hunk of junk that's going to break down on my kid. And she's going to be calling me being like, dude, you got the car, dude. And I'm like, right. Cause I'm like, I don't even know what to do with this other car. And dad's useless. And so, I'm pulling in on this thing, right? So, and I'm building a resentment about it. Like I said, not her, the issue, dude. And I'm like, dude, I knew 4 years ago I called this out, right? Because I manifested this in reality, dude. Like that's the rub, dude. 4 years ago, I manifested this learning curve, right? So I'm like, all right, man. And so it finally gets to the point where I hear my car salesman friend. He's like, and I'm like, all right, dude. I go, wife, this is what we're doing, dude. We're going to just give her the police interceptor. I'm going to give you my truck. And we're going to get a new car. Dude, I'm pissed, right? Like I'm pissed. I got to go get a new car. I just got that thing paid off. Taxes are coming. It's all like moving parts, right? I want to keep all my cash liquid. I'm like, about it, dude. But I'm handling it, dude. I'm just being an adult. I'm doing what I got to do. I'm not sweating my kid about it. I'm not sweating my wife about it. But Owl goes on the rampage yesterday, dude. And I finally lose it, dude. And I'm like, man, 4 years ago, I called this out and I got a resentment about it, dude. And it's like turns into a whole thing for like a half an hour of just me being pissed and resentful and angry because why is that the number one offender? Resentment, because it brings up this like buffet of BS from the past, right? Like I laid all the tracks on this like years ago, dude, and it's this issue with me. So I come up with the plan. We're gonna do this and this, and so I get on the interwebs and I start looking for cars, and I know that the finance rates through the roof all of a sudden. That if I was ever gonna buy a car, it should have been like a year and a half ago. But I don't want to buy a car. Like I love my truck, dude. It works fine, dude. Like whatever, dude. But I was like, we're gonna give her the Interceptor, and I'm like, well, then we got one car, and we're up in the mountains. I go, dude, that's a bad call, dude. That's just a foolish call, dude. And my wife needs her wheels and the whole thing. So I'm like, all right. So I go online now, right? Like I'm resentful, I'm pissed, but I'm like, I've surrendered to the fact that it's better to put a down payment on a new car with a warranty, like a new used car with low miles and a warranty still, than it is to sink it into a piece of shit that's going to break down on my kid, right? The police cruisers, Interceptors, bomber, dude, right? Perfect car for a teenager, actually, or a young adult. So I sit there and I get on the internets, dude, and I start looking at the prices, dude. And I'm like, what? I'm pissed. Like you have to understand I'm pissed. And then sobriety hits me. Then the acceptance hits me of like, all right, dude, like it's all a joke, dude. This is a joke. I would just remember you had to get sober once upon a time. Look at where you've come and look where you've been. Look at where you are. You're an adult, dude. Like you're handling your business, dude. So I start looking at the prices of these cars and they're ridiculous, dude. And I'm like, I start laughing out loud, dude. I start laughing out loud hysterically, like, I find the next one. It's just like, no way, dude. Who does this? And then it shows up, dude. The new version of my car, but buffed out, low miles, not that much more, a little bit high APR. I go online. I'm like, all right, I'm putting in the order, dude. And so this is proof that God's working in my life. So my main issue about everything is like, I want to keep I got to keep my money liquids for the IRS, dude. The IRS is coming in like 3 weeks, bro. Right. I don't know. I'm waiting for my accountant to get back to me because I'm an adult now, dude. See, but I'm an alcoholic, dude. The concept of having an accountant 13 years ago. When I got sober, I had been driving the same pickup truck for like 12 or 16 years or something, dude. Like I'm just was one of those. Like I don't do this kind of stuff, right? So I find this rig and they call me and I'm, it's all online, dude. Boom, boom. And at the same time, I'm like my homeowner's insurance is like calling me, dude, about the rates have gone up, dude, because of California. And I'm like, she's working with me to get it all hustled out to like drop it in lower, dude. I got the kid calling me. I got my auto insurance because I got to get her insured on the car. It's like all these moving parts, right? And I'm sitting there in the thing, and all of a sudden, like, so I got I've got the chunk of money. I'm like, dude, I gotta like kiss this goodbye. And then the car people call me up and are like, dude, what's your just put it on the credit card. And I'm like, whoa, all right. Which is good because I know how to do the hustle with that, dude. Just the juggle. Like, dude, I'll tell you what, man, as a sober person, just never, ever fall into the interest trap. But you can do it. There's a hustle around it. Anyway, so I fall in the hustle, but I get the sign where I get to hang on to all my liquid, right? And I'm like, okay, all right. And I got everything handled today. I got the new policy for the homeowners thing. I'd saved $2,000 right there, dude. I was like working with the car thing and it was like going to cost $1,000 to have it shipped from Oregon. I was like, dude, I'm just going to rent a car and drive up there. Saved $1,000 right there, dude. Got the kid taken care of, got the new policy going for everybody's, all the cars are insured, dude. I got done with the thing. my stress, what I did when I lost my mind last night, I cleaned up my office, finally organized my office, and I organized the garage till like 3:00 in the morning, right? Because God is in my life working full time, dude, helping me get to these things. And so what I'm getting at is I got to like 4:00 today, and I was like, I got done and I was like, I think I'm an adult. Like today was like the first day I actually felt like an adult in 53 years of life. 53 years of life, 13 years of sobriety. Today was the first day I felt like an adult. Like I didn't even feel like an adult with the house thing. Like that was just divine intervention. Like God just did all the paperwork. I just stood there and things happened, right? Today I had to be proactive, and I had to let go of all my fears today. Fear of being on the hook for car payments, fear of high payments. It's just the way it is nowadays. And the whole thing, and just like, all right, this is what we're gonna do, dude. I used the name tags all day. I was super nice to everybody, just super rad conversations. And I got through the day, dude. And why I'm bringing this up is why I'm telling you this is because what we get in sobriety is we get to know we're going to get through it. And the rub with that is that when the problem hits, we don't think we're going to get through it. Like when when the train came off the tracks yesterday at like 12 in the afternoon, I didn't see a way out. I was like, this sucks, dude. This sucks. I was sitting there like, dude, what am I going to do, dude? And all I did was just kept doing the next indicated action, because as a sober person, I know that my head can't run the show, dude. That I have to let God sort of orchestrate this thing that is LIVIN, that is living, that is sobriety. And that, yeah, I can get angry about it. I was pissed yesterday, dude. That you can get angry about it. That's okay. Like I had to go there for a minute just to get that all handled and just sit there and like let it all go. I had to get to the point again in life where I was like, all right, dude, I'm not in charge anymore. That's when I was sitting there looking at the things online, laughing hysterically. I was like, no way. How am I going to pull this off? And I was like, dude, it's literally just click some buttons and it's on, dude. And it's on in a way that like when my fear, like, so when I started the thing yesterday at 12 about the car thing, if you had asked me 12 hours later that I was going to pull the trigger, set myself up with the new rig, the whole thing, I would have been like, nah, it wasn't in my mind. I was just figuring out how to like maneuver like some sort of popper, right? I was at the beginning of it all, I was angry and stressed because I was operating as Hiroshima, Nagasaki would prior to sobriety. Like the world's against me. I'm screwed. There's no way out. I'm doomed. I'm doomed. I'm doomed. Right. And yeah, I had to be there. But see, now that I have enough sobriety under my belt, I know that like, I know on a deeper level that I'm not even consciously aware of that it's all going to work out, dude. Right. So when I'm doing the thing, I don't know it at the time. See, that's there comes a time of finance that, and when you read the promises, right, it says it in the promises, situations that used to baffle you. What does it say, dude? Situations. Where is it, dude? This is what it was. Okay. Fear of people and economic insecurity will lead us. We will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. Like that, the power of that thing right there. We will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like intuitively means I'm not like consciously aware of it. Like the front of my like reality. I'm running intuitively. I was baffled today. Like tonight, I'm like, dude, I don't know how I got here, but like we got it all like lined up, dude. Like it's all lined up. And so what I'm kind of was getting out with where I started was I couldn't have handled that in my first 30 days of sobriety. I couldn't have handled it in my first year of sobriety. I probably couldn't have handled it in my first 5 years of sobriety. Like I was just trying to figure out how to handle myself, how to not drink. Like you get what I'm saying is like the beginning of sobriety was easy because it was a monolith. Like, and that's what I would tell to anybody who's newly getting sober. Like you're blessed right now because your target is dead center in the middle of the bullseye, dude. It's drugs, alcohol, or it's pizzas, or it's bad relationships, or it's sex, or it's whatever that is. You can see it because it's beaten on your life so gnarly that you're coming up asking for help, right? The beginning, take advantage of the beginning because that's the golden time to teach yourself how to get through these things, right? Nowhere in my mind was I'm going to drink. Nowhere in my mind was like, I need to go get high or any of that. I was just like, how are we going to pull this off, dude? What are we going to do, dude? And in that statement, it was a complex riddle that my little newly sober mind could have never fathomed. You know, people like, and I'll tell you this, like, yeah, I'm super far away from that space. So it's hard for you to relate to me sitting here 13 years later, like handling like a 3-car shuffle, dude, and just banks and credit cards and finance companies and homeowners and all of that coming at once, not to mention a 7-year-old child running around demanding things and this and that. And what are you doing, bud? Can I have my privacy, dude? Like
I'll print it out after.
Yeah, you'll print it out after, exactly, dude. And so there's this ball going on, dude, that would have destroyed. That's why why people get destroyed in the end in the early sobriety is they take on too much, dude. And this again is my advice. The beautiful thing that I had going on in sobriety was a bunch of people that kept me from taking on too much stuff, dude. Dude, when I was first getting sober, the first thing I did, like I'll tell you the funny story. It's about cars, right? Cars, right? So I'd had that car for 16 years or something, right? I get sober and I'd never had a car problem, dude. Little red truck, dude. Never ever had it, never given me a problem. Thing was killer, dude. Worked perfectly for like 300,000 miles, dude. I get sober, the engine blows up, dude. I'm like 2 months sober, the engine blows up. Me, I still don't know that I can trust people, right? Because I'm out of my mind recovering alcoholic, deep in just freshness of it all. And the dudes I'm with, David Brune's like, dude, just go down to the sober car dealership and go talk to Hans, dude. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, dude, there's a sober car dealership where dudes specialize in hooking sober people up with cars. And I'm like, this is BS, dude. You're full of it, dude. So me being self-willed, full of ego and this and that, and not willing to accept help. See, the thing was, I wasn't willing to accept help in the beginning of sobriety. I was willing to get sober and do anything you asked to get sober, but like anything past that, I was like, nah, it's a scam, dude. I go, it's a scam. It's the used car hustle, right? Dude's like, dude, there's a car waiting for you, bro. I've called them, dude. Just go down there and down into Santa Monica. And I'm like, nah, dude. So I spend the next 3 months skateboarding and taking buses and mooching rides. And I'm I'm now like 5-6 months sober, dude. And I'm surfing with this buddy of mine. And he's getting sober and we're surfing a bunch. And this one day there's this pumping swell. And I'm like, I want to go here to go surfing. And this dude isn't into that part, like that extremity of surfing. And he's like, nah, I don't want to go there. And like we'd been working, but it was the day. And I'm like, I was super pissed because I wanted to go to this lakes. And I was like, well, that's what I get for rolling with that dude. So I got back from that day. I'm like, all right, dude, where's this car, dude? Right. And my buddy David is like, dude, just go down to the dealership. It's been waiting for you, dude. I'm like, whatever, dude. So I go down to the dealership. I meet Hans. They're like, yeah, dude, I don't have any money, dude. They're like, don't worry about it, dude. Just make the monthly payment, dude. The car's $3,000, no money down. Your monthly payment is $140, dude. There's your car. And I'm like, all right, like, what am I getting, dude? I got that crazy 1984 Volvo station wagon, dude. The tank, dude. That thing was one of the best cars I ever had, dude. New, sober, no dents on it, like old Volvo, big miles. Thing ran perfectly, dude. No money down, dude. Handed me the car keys and it's like, just have $140 to me next month, dude. See ya. And I was like, I remember driving away like, whoa, bro. Like, it opened me up to a whole different level because I was willing to suffer without a car, dude. But then reality came where I was like, I wanted to go surfing at this spot, dude. And I was like, I need a car to get there, dude. And so that was my first car in sobriety, dude. Was the gray Volvo, dude. Terra Cruiser 1, dude. Terra Cruiser 1, dude. And so I got that car, man. I paid it off. Paid off in like 2 years, dude. $140 a month. I think my last thing I did like $600 just to pay it off, dude. I went back to that same car dealership. So move the ball forward. That car, like I'd gotten back from Chile and I kind of like went sober insane. And it like some little thing went down and I just like I just couldn't handle it, dude. So I was like, I don't even know what happened to that car, dude. I forget what happened to that car, dude. It broke down on me like it just stalled out somewhere like in the middle of traffic. And I was like, nah, it doesn't. I'm done now. Stubborn alcoholic sober guy, like, 4 years into it. I'm and now it's like another year. I don't have a car. I'm living up on point. I'm doing my art, my circles, my whole thing. I don't need a car, dude. I can walk to the beach, dude. The whole thing, dude. I'm riding around on my bike. I meet my wife. We're hanging out. She moves up the canyon up to Rainbow Mountain. Like that was where she moved up to Rainbow Mountain. And my buddy Misha, who I'd been surfing, the dude I was surfing, I shouldn't have mentioned his name, but whatever, he didn't care. He's the dude I was surfing with, dude. And he was like, she was living up on top of the hill and he came by my place one night. He's like, dude, like, so what are you going to do? I'm like, whatever, bro. He's like, dude, that's ridiculous, dude. It's like, you got to get a car again, dude. Like it's time for you to get a car. And I'm like, dude, he's like, this is what I'm going to do, dude. And he's like, I'm going to force you to borrow $3,000, dude. He's like, I'm forcing you to borrow $3,000 and you're going to go down to the Volvo dealership and get a car. The Volvo place. I'm like, dude, he's like, call him. All right. So I called up Hans again. I'm like, Hans, dude, what's up, dude? I'm back, dude. He's like, all right, man. I need a car, dude. He's like, all right, dude. I got the newer version of the Volvo, Terra Cruiser 2. I forget what Terra Cruiser I'm on now. I'm on 5 or something. Terra Cruiser. It was either 2 or 3 because I think there was a Volvo. I had a Subaru for like a week and the engine blew up and I abandoned it somewhere, dude. My buddy Danny sold it to me for like $600 and the engine melted or something. Like whatever. I left it on up in Oxnard somewhere, dude. Going to surf one morning, dude. Anyway. So I get the new Terra Cruiser, right? And it's the same deal, dude. I get the champagne, the gold Terra Cruiser. I'm making the payments again. I get up in the thing, and I got that dashboard that goes crazy. And I'm talking to my buddy comes and visit me, the car salesman who I've known for like 30 years, dude. He's like, dude, what are you doing, bro? I'm like, what do you mean, dude? He's like, what are you doing, dude? You're like sober. You got a child. Like I had Owl. Owl was like a year old, dude. I got this car, dude. He's like, dude, you got a kid. You got the thing going on. He's like, you got a life going on. He's like, why are you driving this car, dude? And I'm like, what do you mean, dude? Like, I'm not buying another car, dude, because I'm a cheapskate, dude, right? And he's like, let me break this off to you, dude. He's like, how much are you going to spend on maintenance on this car? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, I'm looking, you need a new pair of tires, dude. He's like, what are you going to do about that dashboard thing? He's like, the miles. He's like, what this and that. He's like, what are you expecting maintenance to be on this car this year? And I'm like, well, and he's like, no, seriously, like, let's crank it out, dude. And I'm like, well, and this and that. And he's like, all right, well, you live way up on top of a mountain, dude. Like, so what are you going to do if this thing breaks down? Like, well, he's like, you're going to have to go dump a bunch of money in a car. It gets this thing fixed. You're going to be stranded. You have children. Like, what are you thinking, dude? And I'm like, well, he's like, dude, like, enough, bro. He's like, go get a car and you'll save money in the long run. So yeah, you're going to have a payment, dude, like a real car payment, but you'll win in the end because you'll have a warranty, dude. You'll have a warranty on your car. You'll have low miles, dude. You'll have a car that starts every time, dude. He's like, dude, let me ask you this, bro. What is it worth to you to know that you can get in your car and it starts every time? I go, wow. He's like, you got kids now, dude. I go, that's pretty priceless, dude. You're not on your own anymore, dude. And again, this is the growth period of sobriety. Like, I'm like, all right, dude. So I go and I get the silver Terra Cruiser 4, dude. The Frontier, dude. Same thing, dude. I put a couple grand down. I get the payment. I finance it. I paid it off, dude. Every month, make my payment, dude. And so here I am again, dude, at the car jump, the next level car jump off thing, where it's not about me anymore, dude. It's the next generation. Like I've gone that in sobriety where like the reason I'm getting a new car is to give my kid our old car, right? Like talk about like, it's actually kind of tears me up to think about it like that, like to tell that like it like that. Like I started sobriety with an old pickup truck with 300,000 miles on it that I'd had for either 12 or 16 years. I forget that the engine blew up, dude. I began sobriety on a skateboard, dude, essentially. Skateboarding for meetings and hitchhiking and walking up canyons to get home. And every step along the way, dude, every step along the way has been an upgrade. Every single time I've been like, no, not gonna do it. Every single time I have fought it tooth and nail. Every single time I've sat like I did last night and just been like, dude, what? Every single time my payment's gotten more. Every single time I've paid it off, dude. Every single time it's been the right thing, dude. So what? This one's gonna be where God fails me, dude. This one's gonna be the one where God fails me. No, dude. God's never failed me, dude. God bats 1,000, dude. A billion, a trillion, an infinite, dude. Little me, dude. I spare change God, dude. I'm getting better at it. This one was the least painful of all of them. Like the least painful of all of them, dude. And yeah, like next week to save $1,000, I'm gonna go rent a car and drive up to Klamath Falls, Oregon, dude, and go pick it up, dude. I don't know what it all means, dude. I don't know what why I'm, I guess because like, yeah, in the beginning of sobriety, I could only handle an old Volvo station wagon, no money down, $140 a month, dude. That's all I could. There was no paperwork. It was literally, I just got dropped off. My friend David drove me down to the car dealership, dropped me off and left. He didn't even wait for me. He's like, dude, your car's right there, dude. It's been sitting here for 3 months, bro, waiting for you. And it had been sitting there for 3 months, dude. No one wanted it, dude. It was the perfect car for me in the beginning, dude. And so each car has become more complicated with what I've had to do. Like I got the car purchasing thing kind of dialed now. My buddy taught me. It was funny. I talked to my car buddy. I sent it, because he'll check all the VINs for me and stuff. And I sent him the VINs and he's like, I go, nah, dude, you taught me how to do this, dude. Because I didn't know how to do that. Like make a sale, like talk to banks. I didn't know how to do any of that stuff when I got here. Because I didn't want to. I didn't want to know how to do it. I was one of those, dude. Like, no. And so I did the thing today, but it wasn't like, it was like, there were so many moving parts today, dude. And I pulled it off, dude. How crazy is that? I'm kind of blown away from it. And that's what sobriety will offer you, dude. The real action sports, subtle life, man. It's subtle, dude. It is subtle. There's nobody's coming to pat me on the back. Nobody's gonna there's not gonna be any pop tops or parades or anything. There's no big ooh moment. There's no melting, there's no melting frogs in the trees. It's just yup, you did what an adult would do, and that's what you're supposed to do. It's not even an accomplishment. It's just that's what you're supposed to do as an adult, dude. You're supposed to dial in your kid and take care of all the stuff, dude, and that's what you get in sobriety, is the ability to just handle your business and lose your mind along the way, dude. Trust me, dude. It wasn't pretty, but it was successful, dude. And my meltdown was pretty short, dude, in spite of it all. And I got a clean office out of it too, finally, a year later, dude. And I had a rad conversation with my insurance agent and my other insurance agent. I had multiple into car people and banks and all of it, dude. And every one of them was a mellow, positive conversation, because you know what? I don't view it as my enemy anymore. I used to view it as my enemy, the whatever that is. My drunken, addled, confused self viewed everything as a battle, a war, a reason of either do or die. Now it's just no, dude, that's just moving the parts around in the Rubik's Cube of life. So yeah, sober Thursday, dude. Yesterday would have been a fail for sober Wednesday, dude. I was at 6:30 yesterday, sober Wednesday, dude. I was fetal. We're not gonna pull this off. What do I do? I don't know what to do. I had to do something, right? It wasn't about me anymore. It's not about me anymore. I had to do something. I had a kid sitting there what do I do, dude? And I'm well, I got to show up, dude. So I still don't know what to do with the hunk of junker. Dad dropped on her, dude. That's a problem for another day, dude. But that's not even a problem, dude. That's literally a salvage yard problem, dude. Whatever, dude. I was dude, just ship it I was we'll just pay to have it towed to his house. Drop it in his driveway, dude. But that isn't gonna work either. You gotta laugh, dude. And that's what I couldn't do, dude. I'll go back to the beginning of sobriety, man. I remember sitting in that house with David and Joe and Ross and all those dudes, my first like third or fourth day in sobriety, and sitting and listening to people laughing. And I just remember sitting there and I was like, that was my first goal in sobriety, dude. Besides, like, yeah, my first goal in sobriety is I just wanted to laugh again, dude. I hadn't laughed in so long. I'd been so spun out, so full of myself, so either king of the world or gutter down, dude, you know, like just I remember hearing that. I can still remember sitting on the couch and laughing down the hallway and being like, dude, what do they think so funny, dude? What's so funny, dude? I didn't understand what was funny, dude. See, sobriety, you realize that that the abuse of it all is the comedy show, because you know that it doesn't matter, dude. It does not matter, dude. That's the beauty of sobriety. It does, once you get sober enough, you realize, dude, none of it fucking matters, dude. You just gotta stay sober, dude, no matter what, dude. All you gotta do is just stay sober no matter what, dude. Just don't choose your remedy over God's love, right? Because it's not going to work anyhow, dude. Whatever you're going through, you got to go through it no matter what. You can prolong it by stuffing pizzas in your face or sleeping with someone or drinking a six-pack or ripping some bongers. Problem didn't go away. It just got covered up, dude. So, you know, LIVIN, dude. Living is the extreme sport. Yeah, living's the extreme sport. It's masterful, dude. So I'm feeling pretty good about it all. And it's funny, dude. It's not like the victory it's that line, the things that used to intuitively know how to situations used to baffle us, dude. That is priceless, dude. No self-medicating, man. No self-medicating. So yeah, that's the good news today, dude. I stayed sober in spite of it all. And most people didn't see me sweat, dude. The only person who saw me sweat was my wife, dude. You know? Today was a good day, dude. I didn't have to use my 18-pack. All right, dude. What do we got going? All right, Demingog. You have a good day at work. Bongers definitely was a skip button in my life. Yeah, no self advice for someone 3 months into the sober journey, dude. Just hang it out, man. Do the work, dude. Go to the meetings. Be of service, dude. Just be of service, dude. Dig in on it, dude. I'll tell you what, man, like 3 months seeker of truth, dude. 3 months sober, dude. The best thing I ever did for myself was just going to meetings every day, dude. And it paid off. See, it at the time, it's just like whatever, but it paid off over like when the scamdemic hit and they shut down all the meetings, dude. I had 8 years of meetings under my belt to like rely on, dude. You know, like I knew, like, well, it's why we got this started. So I would say in the beginning, it's just don't try to figure it out. That's why you have a sponsor. That's why you have a group of sober people around you. That's why you got the book. That's why you got meetings and commitments. You don't need to think about it, dude. That's my advice. Don't think about it. Just do the next indicated action. Stay close to your people at your meetings, dude, and do the work, dude. And then next thing you know, it'll be 3 years and you'll be like, dude, I got 3 years. So I remember 3 months, didn't know what to do, dude. You're not supposed to know what to do in 3 months, dude. Your body, like, let's not forget, like, drugs, it takes a while for your body to detox, dude. 90 days. I think 90 days was right about when I started to feel okay. I didn't have any hangovers. Like I was starting to I was starting to stabilize. But you don't detox off of I think they say it takes you a year to detox off alcohol. Like, it takes you a long time to like, you got to remember, you tortured your body, dude. Your body's got a whole neural net ready to like on standby, just freaking hoping you don't dump more poison on your system, dude. Addiction's exhausting, dude. Exactly. If sobriety is this, like, I'm feeling good about it all, dude. Like, I got through today, dude. I got through yesterday and today, dude, without taking a drink, dude. Not too bad, dude. I didn't wedge a bunch of candy. I didn't do anything, dude. I just did what was required, did the next indicated action. So with that said, man, look, 988 is the suicide prevention number, dude, in the United States. 988, man. If you're thinking about killing yourself, call 988, call somebody. Just don't do it, dude. I'm telling you, man. As a person who's had that thought pop up many times in your life, dude, every one of those moments, dude, I've overcome. I don't even remember what they are anymore, dude. Nothing that's worthwhile comes easy. That's right, Blue. Please. And if you want to get sober, like, you can type in your city central office into the interwebs, and you'll find some numbers, and you call. There'll be a list of meetings. You go, you raise your hand, you ask for help, man. It's that simple, dude. Like, that's why I shared the story last week. It's that simple. Just, you ask for help from some people in front of a liquor store. Next thing you know, dude, 13 years later, you're playing 3-car shuffle with like multiple insurance agents and the whole thing, and everything works out, dude. I don't know how, dude. Trust me, I'm not even trying to figure it out, like, how. Because again, the mountains don't care. God loves you, dude. And so with that said, 988 suicide prevention line. Oh, there's the Grateful Ed's got the Canadian helpline, 1-833-456-4566. If you're up in Canada, dude, call that number. Don't let them convince you to kill yourself, dude. I know they're big into it up there, dude. Your life's important. We need everybody to be alive right now, dude. This is like magic time to be alive, dude. So with that said, man, hang in there and use the name tags. Keep it moving, dude. Keep it moving. Yeah, orangutan, dude. We got through it. Now we just got to get through all of it, dude. Sales Evas. Sale Evas. You're welcome. Thank you. So with that said, serenity prayer on the way out the door. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. Amen to that. And I think next week we'll be back on Wednesday, dude. I think they're doing practices on Thursday now. So guys intervened on that one too. So with that said, be safe, be beautiful, call the numbers, stay alive tonight, and we'll see you at the next one. All right. Take it easy, everyone.